Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Conservation Corner. Today's episode is going to be about whale sharks, which, if you remember from the first episode, is one of my favorite animals and probably my favorite marine animal. So let's dive in and talk about them. So, first off, a brief introduction. What are whale sharks? So, their scientific name is Ranchodon typus. They evolved from bottom-dwelling carpet sharks, which were alive during the Jurassic and Cretaceous period, about 245 to 600, about 245 to 65 million years ago. I can't read numbers today, y'all. They are labeled the largest fish in the world, growing up to 40 feet, 12.2 meters long, and weighing up to 20 tons, 18,143.7 kilograms. So they're big. Are they whales or sharks? Whale sharks are classified as sharks because they have many shark characteristics. They have skeletons made of cartilage instead of bone, 5 to 7 gill slits, and pectoral fins that aren't fused to their heads. They get their name from their massive size. Alright, so this is a new thing I'm trying out. I'm basically going to teach you cool facts through like a quiz format. So we're going to try it out, see how it goes. First question, do whale sharks have eyelids? Yes or no? The answer is no. Whale sharks do not have eyelids. Instead, they have thousands of tiny teeth called dermadenticles on their eyes. These teeth-like structures protect their eyes from the elements, debris, and other creatures. Number 2, true or false? Whale sharks can produce eggs and give live birth. If you said true, you are correct. Whale sharks are ovoviparous. The eggs hatch inside the mother's body. After that, she gives birth to live young, which is very, very cool. Question 3, true or false? Whale sharks have short lifespans. That is false. It is estimated that whale sharks can live over 100 years, reaching maturity at 30 years old. What is a group of whale sharks called? Is it A, a horde, B, a constellation, C, a ship, or D, a shiver? If you said B, you were right. So technically, any group of shark is called a shiver, but I'm going to explain to you the terminology for this question. This terminology comes from a NASA-developed project that identifies whale sharks by the unique patterns on their back, which is like their fingerprint/identifier marks. This helps to track whale sharks without actually tagging them. This is referred to as star tracking technology. Do whale sharks filter feed, yes or no? They do filter feed. Whale sharks have about 3,000 teeth or more, but use water filtration to eat instead. They have giant mouths, but their throat is about the size of a quarter. Anything that isn't food gets filtered out through their gills. They are one of 3 known shark species to filter feed, the others being basking sharks and megamouth sharks. And I have a video to show you. So as you can see, the whale shark's opening up its mouth, it's sucking all that water in, and any microorganisms like plankton or small tiny fish get sucked into their mouths, and that's how they eat, which is really cool. Don't play again. Okay. Let's talk about the environmental impacts of whale sharks. Why are they important? What do they do? So, they help regulate plankton levels. They eat more than 44.1 pounds or 20 kilograms of plankton per day. Whale sharks prefer waters rich in plankton, which indicates a healthy ecosystem. Whale sharks prevent these organisms from growing too much, which can negatively impact the ocean. Excessive amounts of plankton can reduce the amount of sunlight and oxygen in the water. So they also help maintain the food chain. Whale sharks regulate the population of smaller fish and ensure that other marine species have enough food to survive. They help fertilize the water. Whale sharks excrete nutrients in their waste, which helps fertilize the surrounding water and supports phytoplankton growth. And it is believed that they also help the coral reefs. Little research has been done on the dependence of whale sharks on the coral reefs, but some evidence shows that population of whale sharks have been positively correlated to the population of coral reefs. Alright, let's talk about their conservation status. This is where it gets kind of sad. Whale sharks are endangered. So I'm going to go over the issues with you and what they're going through out in the wild and why they're classified as endangered. So they suffer from habitat loss. Whale sharks are known to inhabit coral reefs. Coral reefs act as a buffer to protect coastlines, but also provide food and shelter for many marine species. Coastline developments has detrimentally impacted the coral reefs and degraded the marine habitat that supports whale shark populations. They also suffer from food loss. Pollution affects the coral reefs, which is a food source for other marine life. This decreases the populations of fish that whale sharks eat. Increased tourism and boating also interrupts feeding habits. Overfishing also causes decreased food sources for whale sharks. We're also going to talk about some health things. Pollution affects the pH of the ocean, which affects the coral reefs and survival of marine life. Boating can cause injuries to whale sharks by boat strikes or hitting them with their propellers. And microplastics also survive in our ocean. We even have beaches and islands that are labeled as trash beaches or trash islands because that's where all the trash in the ocean ends up getting washed up to. Microplastics can also survive at the deepest part of our oceans. So I have a little demonstration for you about what happens when whale sharks filter feed on plastic. So this represents their mouth. As you can see, pretty easy to pass through. Okay. This represents the throat. I traced out a quarter for this. And we're going to put the plastic bag through here. And the paper was already ripped when I tried to do this demonstration the first time. But still, it's pretty tough. It's still ripping the paper, trying to get it through. Look at that. And then anything that isn't food goes through their gills. So I'm going to show you what happens there. This is if it even makes it past the throat. It gets to the gills. And still pretty tough to pass through. Rip the paper on that one as well. So plastic bags can get lodged in whale sharks' throats and their gills, and basically it suffocates them. They're not able to eat, they're not able to breathe, and that is a very bad time for the whale sharks. So what can we do? How do we stop things like this from happening? So one of the pictures I have here I feel like is a really cool idea. It's basically like a fish trash can. So they made this fish sculpture out of like random wires and stuff, and it's for people to put their trash in on the beach. But it also demonstrates what happens if you don't pick up your trash. Like I feel like it's cool. It has a dual purpose in that way. So what can we do? We can first start by reducing our impact, and there are multiple ways to do that. So reducing the carbon footprint, avoid single-use plastics, and participate in beach cleanups. Eat less seafood / purchase responsibly. So there's 2 different food labels that you need to be looking for. The first one is ASC. It's a like seafoam green label, and it has a check mark on it, and that's for responsibly farmed fish. And then there's the blue label that says MSC, and it's for sustainably like wild caught fish. So look for those 2 labels if you're in the store buying seafood. Support research and organizations, and also be a responsible tourist. Follow guidelines for whale shark tourism and support ethical programs. That is all that I have today. Thank you guys so much for paying attention to this and just listening to me ramble on about whale sharks because I love them so much. Um, Yep, this presentation was made by My Free Slides. You're going to see this a lot. Just assume that every presentation is made by My Free Slides. And remember, when you think you've learned everything, you've learned nothing at all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell. Let me know how you guys did on the quiz and if you like that sort of thing and want to see it in future episodes. I can definitely incorporate it. It's not an issue. If you guys like it, just let me know and I'll incorporate it in more episodes. But that's all I got, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.